Welcome back to Accidental Crusade. I am your host, Mark, and joining me today are the players. We have Thaddeus Starch, played by Voiceover Guy Bryan.
Aha!
We have Tech Priest Arghast, played by Lysander.
Greetings.
We have Furia Legasov, played by Dammit.
Hello!
And we have Magnolia Grace Lepis, played by Cat.
Y'all can call me Maggie.
Where we last left our intrepid acolytes, you had just survived an ambush, making your way into Hive City Ordinance. The tech gangers took out your servitor transport and tried to waylay your progress, but, well, the abilities of you are a little bit higher than they expected, because amongst all of you, you were able to wipe them out to a single one. So, all of them are dead, burned, scorched, and otherwise punctured and cut into pieces on the ground around you.
El kabonged.
They took a calculated risk, and boy, were they bad at math.
Yes, indeed. So there you are, standing amidst the ruins not only of your servitor transport, but of all of the people around you. Is there anything anyone wishes to do?
I immediately approach Furia, and I'm going to patch her up a little bit of damage that she took.
Okay. I believe you have a medical mechadendrite, yes?
Yes, so all of a sudden I have this little weird mechanical tentacle that just pops up that has a bunch of medical devices on the end, and I'm just going to kind of just do a quick little patch job here, and I'm going to take my Medicase skill.
Where had you been tucking that?
Don't
have
worry
mercy.
about it.
He's covered in voluminous orange robes. So out of one of the holes in the side comes this snaking tendril covered in various different syringes, small medical tools, and he starts scanning you and checking you over and looking at the wounds you accrued during the fight.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
just
I
a
worry
couple-
about that.
It is just a couple of bruises. We don't need your tail. I'm fine. It's good.
Soft tissue damage accumulates. We would hate for your body to become worse than it is. But the good news is you heal 1d3 plus 1 shock, which I believe doesn't even matter because I believe that heals your shock.
I am down 3 shock.
So die 3 plus 1?
You heal 2 shock.
Yay! Thank you.
So the Medicaid mechadendrite searches over the wound you took, injects a small bit of painkiller, sprays some antibacterial goop on it, and generally cleans it up with several small little flexing digits. But afterwards, you feel much better.
Oh.
You know, you're
Okay.
supposed to take a lady out for some AMSEC or a meal ration first, right?
Details. Not my kind of problem.
He would not,
The dendrite will then turn upon myself before we're ready to continue.
In public?
he would not pull in my saddle.
And I recover the rest of my shock as it
Okay.
treats me the same way as
Yeah.
I treat myself.
I'm not shocked, but I am scandalized.
So
Mind your own business.
I can't. It's part of my curiosity.
I did not give you permission to watch.
Look, it's on my character sheet and everything.
So again, around you, after you've had this chance to rest for a moment and have your wounds tended to, are the bodies of the gangers that attacked you. And pretty much, other than that, rubble surrounding you and a roadway leading off into the depths of the hive.
Our vehicle that came and picked us up, was it a rarity on this road, or will we see others?
You didn't really see much other traffic on this road. It seemed that the vast majority of travel that happens between the landing fields and the hive was done using the grav trains, of which there, somewhere nearby, presumably, is the actual grav train tracks that would be able to bring you into the hive proper. But you were taking the roads in, presumably to avoid any other attention you might have seen.
Oh well.
I actually poke about some of the remnants of the gangers, see if they have any indication of if they were ordered to assault us or whether this was just an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
I believe that is investigation.
That would be an investigation roll. Please go ahead.
All right.
Can I assist with that roll?
I will keep guard.
How would you like to assist? In this system, you're actually able to, you can make a different kind of roll. So instead of an investigation roll, you could say, for example, attempt a Medicaid roll or a tech roll and use that and shift any exalted successes you get to his roll. So you would assist in a different way than just investigating. Or scholar, for example.
Well, I am very aware of things. I
Okay.
have incredible awareness. But I think that Auspex doesn't help that. Anyway, I'll just take a look-see around and see if I can help you out a little.
All right.
Okay. Actually, I believe your Auspex does work in this instance. You're able to use that to boost your awareness. So if you're scanning the area and trying to use that to find anything that might be useful, you can use that.
So I think what you do is you end up making you make your Auspex skill check, and any exalted that you get, you can shift over to give me additional dice to roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy cow.
So go ahead and roll that. I believe, how was that, 11 dice?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Scheiße.
I dropped one.
You can re-roll it. You don't take drop dice.
Didn't help much.
No.
So I see a couple sixes.
Can shift.
You may shift.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna shift over these two here sixes.
So
beyond
you get 2
you
bonus die on your roll due to the exalted successes of your Auspex scanning.
That is neat.
So Maggie, you're looking around. You're actually you have your Auspex scanner tuned in to try to see if you can find anything in particular about these individuals, anything that might help you. As Thaddeus over here is attempting to
I'm going to
look into it.
So I do have a complication, but I'm going to still use a wrath
To re-roll your fails.
to re-roll my fails, which is everything. Everything. That was a fail of 9.
Okay.
I'm
Wow.
I'm a bit concerned now.
Oh, good.
Eh.
Hey, there we
I
go.
do
Have
not
faith.
think our dice jail is big enough.
It is 4 successes.
Okay.
It's 2 icons and an exalted icon, but with a complication.
Okay.
That was just an additional on it.
Okay. So you are looking around. You're kind of using some of the Auspex information that Maggie's giving you, looking around at these things. You happen to make your way over to one of them in particular. We'll say that the one that had the kind of the axe, the jagged looking, basically piecemeal axe.
Well, at least half of them.
Yes. You start looking through that guy and seeing if there's anything on them that might kind of explain what's going on.
You look through the guy.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that was, I guess, was also a success from Arghast as well.
So as you're basically trying to look through, you look in, and funny enough, the fact that it was cut in half allows you to see some of the augmetics that are kind of buried inside. And as you look in there, you reach in, your arms kind of squelching as it enters into the chest cavity, and you kind of pull something out, and you're looking at what looks to be a augmetic lung of some kind, something that is like a rebreather that was built up in kind of the throat area. And as you pull it out, you note that there is a serial number that has been scratched out.
Arghast, I think someone's been fiddling about with some squiggly spooges or something.
That's what I was thinking.
These are sad, foul imitations, not worthy of the true grace of the Omnissiah.
This one looks like it was stolen.
Do you wish to investigate into the augmetics themselves? Because there's plenty of them about.
Yeah, sure. I would like to do that. What would you determine a relevant thing? Would tech be relevant?
Tech is relevant in this case.
Excellent. So don't be fooled by my combat prowess and ability with Medicaid. Tech is actually my speciality. Being a tech priest, it's kind of in the name.
The difficulty on this particular roll is 6.
Okay. Lucky for me, my tech skill is 9. Being a tech priest adds an additional one here.
You know, I always heard that the eyes were the windows to the soul, but I guess in this case it might be the lungs. Or the whatever that thing is.
It is just new version of aftermarket parts.
That would be a glory in the pool.
All right.
So that is 3 regular successes and 3 exalted icons for a total of 9.
Okay. A 9. You can shift one of those over. And shifting on a skill check like this can make it so that additional information can be gleaned. You can also make it take less time. So,
Okay. If it is tech, I don't know if you would consider this relevant here. I do tech stuff in half the normal time. being
okay.
Tech priest.
So you're already doing it in half the time. You can cut that in half again to basically be like, oh, I know this. Or you can attempt to get additional information out of the check.
Okay. I can make a single shift here without sacrificing my successful die pool, and I would like to put that into information.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so as you're investigating and you're looking into this thing, you're kind of scanning it over. You're looking at all the different places, the connectors, where the serial number was scratched off, and you get this kind of little ping of memory that comes through, and you're looking at this, and at first you were like, it's just subpar, whatever. But then you're looking at it and going, no, this is actually higher grade. This is good quality augmetics. Like, this isn't just a replacement piece. This is an actual improvement. So this looks like it was either stolen from or black market sold from a reputable imperial situation, like not just like a hospital, but somewhere where someone of means would go and actually acquire good quality augmetics, not just cybernetics.
But that's heresy.
Fascinating.
Illegal, mostly.
Sounds more hairy, really.
So yeah,
This is troubling news.
this one in particular, you're looking at something that is, if you knew better, like if you had any other reason to doubt, you're pretty sure this is almost military grade.
Okay.
Lowest bidder?
That's
Military officer grade.
Oh, okay, that is different.
that is a troubling concern. These augmetics are far more beyond the means of such what I would have considered low lives, but now things are a little bit different than they seem. We will have to investigate this further.
Well, we better hike up our britches and start walking down the road a pace.
One problem. Do we know where we're going now?
I think I have a solution for that.
Internal.
I realized that our dear friend Thaddeus decided to throw the servitor that was driving the car. I would like to investigate the servitor, and I'm actually going to spend my wrath to make a narrative declaration that the brain is intact on the servitor.
Okay.
And I would like to make a tech use attempt to discern and download its navigational information so that we now have a road. Theoretically, try and have a roadmap to the location we're going.
So spending a wrath to make your narrative declaration that this is in fact still available, 100% within your means. What I will say as a yes, but is because it was so spectacularly leaded, I will increase the difficulty to ascertain the information and download it from it by 2. So that will make it a difficulty 7 tech check to get the information you need out of it.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Glory, by the way, can be spent to gain additional bonus die for every glory spent. So if this is a situation where it's a roll that you absolutely need to make, if the party wishes, you may add a single bonus die for every glory point spent. So,
Objection. So I'm already going to be rolling 11 die here.
All right.
The difficulty is 7, so this is going to be a bit difficult. Any objections to me spending 2 glory? Party?
I don't have any objection to it personally. Would I be able to assist with psychic mastery, essentially using my telekinetic abilities to open up things?
sure, I'll allow that. Yeah, maybe kind of like reconnecting synapses that might have gotten damaged or fried in the ensuing attack.
A little bit of biomancy.
I hate to put the cart before the horse, but aren't we on a track? Were we not following a track?
We were in a vehicle on a road.
We
The-
could see
Yeah.
the track,
All
but
right.
we diverted.
So we weren't being railroaded.
No.
No. I have question to
At least not literally. Possibly figuratively. Sorry.
Welcoming committee.
Continue.
Okay, I have question because they have tablets and it is standard operating tablet, but I have superior tablet in ARM. If we connect navigation system from Surfetter to ARM, would that assist in lowering difficulty?
What I'll allow that for, if you would like, you can utilize your kind of augmented tablet that's built into your armor suit. You can use that as an assist for the mapping after. So if they're able to recover the data, I'll allow you to be able to work with it to provide the map that can actually get you there.
Okay.
Let's see about psychics.
Because you also have your built-in Vox unit is longer range than theirs, which will allow you to actually kind of ping that location and head there.
Okay. So we work together. You plug it into ARM, we follow that.
Any exalted successes on...
There, 4 regular icons and 2 exalted successes to shift over.
So you can shift those exalted successes to give 2 more bonus die to the roll.
Excellent, and I'm taking 2 from the pool.
Yep.
So I am now rolling a grand total of 15 die here because I really want this to work.
Because remember, the maximum bonus dice you can get is limited by the tier of the game. In this case, I believe 6 is the highest you can go on bonus die, and 6 is the most you can be penalized. So in this case, it is the maximum you can roll.
I'm tickling the bottom of that for sure right now. But again, I wanted to maximize my odds here.
By all means.
Tickle.
So that actually puts a glory back in the pool.
Woo!
Okay. You cannot gain a glory if you had to spend a glory for the roll.
Cool. Good to know. That is good to know. But it's looking good, folks. It's looking like the Omnissiah has blessed us this evening.
The Emperor is with us.
So that would actually be 5, 6, 7 with 3 shifts.
Okay.
Holy cow.
So 3 shifts, you're going to be able to not only get it done quicker, you're also able to get your additional information out of it as well.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead and roll in the fact that you're able to then route that information over to Furia's wrist-mounted data port.
Excellent.
So what happens is,
Plug it in.
so you connect up to this thing, and as you're searching through its databanks, you're able to use some of your inquisitorial ciphers to break down what defenses are left on it. And even though it was severely damaged from being just launched over
It was
here.
used as a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't using his brain at the time.
We'll say that because of the fact that that Thaddeus over there was able to kind of make the mind more pliable than it was prior, it was actually able to make it just easy enough for you to get in there and transfer off all of the locational data and the historical travel data that wasn't deleted automatically upon the server's demise. So you're able to not only pull in the location of where you're headed, but also every other location that this servitor has been to for like the past 3 days. To which you're basically given a few points location, but you have no reference as to what those points are.
Sure.
You just have directions and locations.
Okay.
But the main one that it was headed towards at this point, you now have a very strong signal that'll bring you directly where you're headed.
Ultimately, that was the goal achieved. The Omnissiah has blessed us this day.
Oh, good.
Thank you for your service.
I'm glad, that didn't get messier.
You say with your arms up to your elbows covered in gore.
You want a hanky or a shower? Or just stand over there. You kind of smell.
Says the one with hay sticking out of her hair occasionally.
It's earthy. Earthy things are nice.
Blood is earthy.
Well, I mean,
We are all star stuff.
it was blood. Now it's earthy.
Well, shall we? Before something terrible happens, like, enemies
Oh, no,
without,
goddamn.
a group of enemies appears from concealment and attacks the protagonists. All protagonists gain 1 wrath.
Is that what you wish to do? You wish to spend your camp?
That will be the first campaign card of the series, folks.
So, as you spend a campaign card, everyone is given one at the beginning of the session to kind of change how things are going. So, in this case, what we will do is, first off, everyone gains an additional wrath. So, everyone now has an additional point they can use for rerolls and various things like that.
Oh, I am definitely grumpier.
So, what we're going to say in this case is, as you guys are gathering your things and as you're starting to head off in that direction, you start hearing the rumbling of engines in the distance.
Oh, that's a bad sign.
So-
I think we should get some cover, maybe.
So, you guys start kind of looking around to see if there's a place you can hide.
Yes, I'm gonna perhaps do some investigation towards
Well-
that idea.
It would be an awareness if you're looking for cover or
Hey,
a
that's
place.
great. I like awareness rolls.
Investigation is your way of taking your time to search for something, whereas awareness is that over there.
When we arrived, we saw a big building that were mostly holy.
A lot of them are, yes.
Is there a big building in direction of that?
Well, let's find out what the awareness says.
Oh, yeah. Oh, oh, that is nice. Yes, that is very nice.
That would be 3 exalted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
6.
6.
6 normal. So
12.
12.
12. Okay, so you are basically, you pull out your scanner, you can shift a few of those because the difficulty wasn't super high. So almost immediately you pull up and go, oh yeah, there is not only a place to hide in that direction, there is a what probably was the part of a subground grav chute, basically, grav train tunnel in that direction that would be not only able to hide in, but should be able to get you in the direction you're headed, just out of the line of sight of anybody who's out here abouts on the top.
Hey, I found a tunnel over here. Come on in.
Let us hope it is not too short.
Let's
Bend over. You got this.
I prefer to preserve my spine, unlike some others in my organization.
Do you have a spine?
I do, and it is quite strong, thanks to the Messiah.
Well, one does not want to assume you don't have a stomach.
Fair.
I suppose that is a reasonable assessment.
Oh, I
Come
don't
on.
like going
Come on
under
now.
tunnels. But I don't like running into whoever that is revving their engines.
Come on, Starchy.
Hike up your britches. Let's go.
So you guys start kind of rushing over in the direction that your auspex says that there's this tunnel. And sure enough, you run around the corner of this building just as the echoing roar of these engines starts to fill the air behind you. You rush around the corner, you see this old entryway that seems to have some stuff piled over it. Large bits of granite just kind of collapsed over the entrance. But you're pretty sure underneath those giant chunks of rock is where you need to be.
Hey,
Looks
sit
like
down.
over there.
I might be able to help with this.
Oh.
Same, likewise.
I
I got backs while they do
By all means.
excavate.
Okay?
attempt to assail the building across the way with the rocks that are this.
Okay. So you basically start lifting that up and start trying to pull it off there.
I
Yes.
forgot my
Okay.
trigger.
Are you
Discipline.
attempting
There we
to...
go.
This way.
I'll assist with my servo arm and my
You'll
my
be-
natural
Heat
strength.
powers activate.
So-
I'll go ahead and allow you because you're just kind of using that power in a non-attack
Wait.
manner. Go ahead and make your
Wait.
your
We
roll,
talked about this.
but you don't have to like actually attack
Oh,
anybody with
flashlight.
it.
Okay. Would you
I'll
like
hold
me
the
to make
flashlight.
my strength roll?
You have a
Hey!
flashlight?
You know, like this.
Would you like me to make a strength
Yes,
check
because
for
you're
Arghast?
so
Critical
Oh, wait, it's like
success.
this.
so
I
you're
got
assisting
it.
him. Go ahead and add a glory point as there was a critical success over there.
Thank you very much.
All right, what difficulty am I attempting to hit?
We'll go with a difficulty 4.
Okay, that is a success with a shift.
Okay. So between the two of you, lifting some of that stuff up with your mind and using your augmentics, you're able to shift away enough of that stuff.
It's 8
to open the
successes,
way.
by the way.
More than enough, yeah. You reach out with your mind, you lift up some of these rocks, you move them out of the way, and you guys rush into the tunnel.
I pick up my average-sized rock and throw it. I'm helping.
As you make your way in, you're even able to drop some of it behind you to cover your entrance. As you're covering them, as they're moving this stuff, you peek around the exit, and just the corner of the building you rushed around. You see about 6 vehicles, all kitted out, covered in various different spikes, piecemeal armor. All looks like it's just been welded on, and a couple more of these augmented-looking people kind of hanging on the side. And they pull up where all the bodies are, and they start sifting through them. And you even see one of them lift up one of them, like the one with the torso that's been split, lifts it up, laughs or something, pulls out a kind of a long blade and hacks off the augmetic, leaving the meat to hit the ground, throws the augmetic back into the back of the one of the trucks, and you see them start scavenging all of the different augmetics and cybernetic pieces off of the bodies, just leaving the meat to rot in the street.
I've got to say, this neighborhood's not quite what was promised.
We were promised a neighborhood.
Oh.
Sure enough, though, you guys are able to duck downstairs, get out of the street, and start making your way through the tunnels, which you see, due to the layer of dust and other such that seems to have just fallen down here over the years, has not been accessed in quite a long time. So, because of your successes and your ability to find this, you are pretty much left undeterred the majority of the way into the hive. So, it takes you a couple hours on foot to make this trek. But as you are starting to make your way closer, you note that due to the map you have and the different information that you were able to download, that if you had taken the grav train, it would have brought you further in to the hive, and then you would have had to make your way out to some of the outskirts to get to where you're going. This ended up being almost a quicker way, although it would have been much quicker if you had a vehicle.
It's quicker and quicker.
Yes, indeed.
I'm going to start playing my banjo as we're walking
Oh
along.
god. Okay.
Okay.
So
Echoing off the tunnel.
no, we are trying for stealth.
I am a man
Lepis.
of constant sorrow.
Lepis. We are going for stealth. We are going for quick and stealth. Do
I
you
don't
want to
suppose you
attract
have an
attention?
NSAID in there, in that weird tentacle of yours.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Not for
My
you this
visor.
day.
I would like. I don't know if because we want to dedicate or declare all actions before we do. I would like to take lead because I have navigation, but I would also like to.
We've seen trouble.
It's a Warhammer version of Sentinel.
Or like overwatching, kind of like just keeping tabs on what's going around you. Just
I want to have more awareness for surrounding than just I'm going
so
to sing and thrum and it's
actively
gonna be great.
scanning your environment rather than just using passive.
Ah,
Okay, and that's fine.
Active.
So you are keeping tabs on things as you go.
correct.
So go ahead and make me an awareness check as you guys are getting closer to where you're headed.
Okay.
When I was serving with the guard, they told me that it was possible to convert a las pistol into a flashlight.
Once. I think you can do it once and you'd be really sad
I
afterwards.
think that joke went over his head.
I can do that in my sleep.
Okay.
That explains a lot.
I have 5, 1 icon, 2 exalted for a total of 5.
5? Okay. So as you are nearing your goal, you start noticing around you that, like, there are places where, tucked around corners in small areas of the tunnel that you're going through, you see what look like booby traps. You see small defensive areas that are barely hidden, really well done, but you note that as you're approaching, one of them, like a small security feed, actually like a small skull inset into the wall with a little kind of lens eye, actually focuses and then unfocuses and just seems to follow you as you're going.
Oh, lovely. Okay, just a heads up, everybody. We're being watched, and there's traps around. It's good. Just have awareness and maybe put the banjo away.
Okay, alright, I'll put it away. Sorry, Grandpappy.
Remember, we talked about grip on pistol, both hands.
Oh, death. Oh, death. Won't you find me on another day?
I'm going
Can I
to
look
say
for those
that
traps, sir?
that's the sort of foreshadowing that I feel like we don't want at this moment.
You speak for yourself.
So
I mean, you were throwing gas at other guys, so I'm just saying I'm not sure you don't want death.
I would like to survive.
now that you've pointed them out as you're making your way through, and as you exit the tunnel closer to your actual destination, you're starting to see other what look like automated defenses that have noticed you but are not doing anything. They seem to have just the scans have come over, and you see every so often, even towards one of the building tops, kind of hidden by some rubble, you see the top torso of a human with large guns coming out. As the head scans over you, guns point for a moment, seem to cycle rounds, and then turn and continue their scanning of the area.
I believe this bodes well for us.
Now that's a servitor that you could really throw at someone.
Oh gosh.
I think
Hi,
I'd rather
Mom.
use the servitor for its intended purpose at this point.
Well,
You know,
yes.
those blessed by the Omnissiah who take the path of the servitor are blessed servants.
Like my grandpa
I always
here.
thought they were criminals.
Yes, but they in the end are serving the Omnissiah and your Emperor's will.
So
For the Emperor.
So you guys start making your way forward. The destination you're actually able to see now, as your map is now, connecting up with everything around you. You're seeing the old ruins of a manufactorum, large factory where a lot of the various different needs of the Imperium are created. Although this one seems to have fallen into the same kind of squalor that everything else around you has. But you note, again, as you're making your way forward, that little bits of the automated defenses that probably were part of the initial construction have been repurposed and reactivated, but subtly so that it isn't super obvious unless you know what you're looking for. So you're fairly certain at this point that this is the safe house you're headed towards.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
So, making your way forward, there is a set of double doors, large metal doors with a keypad on the side. And again, you see a skull inset into the wall with small kind of focusing eye lenses that start to look at you as you get closer. A small terminal opens up below it, and a kind of fuzzy screen with a little bit of a picture. You can't quite make out what's on the other side, but you kind of hear this voice crackle through. It says, "You've made it. Good. Good. Do you have your identification? I need to know it's you."
Can you identify yourself, please?
"I need yours first, and I'm the one with the servitor guns." As you hear this kind of clack from above and behind you, as inset into an alcove on the other side of the doorway, you see something with 2 large rotary cannons is just idling there.
Wasn't there a passphrase or something?
No, I pull out my data pad with my identification and stuff and plug it into the terminal.
Okay. So
Light of the Emperor be upon you.
So you plug that in, when you say that, there's a pause on the other side. There's the data that gets scanned through. Very well, very well. Stand back. Doors are opening. Come in quickly.
Oh.
Were you followed?
Probably.
Well,
What do you mean, probably?
Well, I mean, we did fight a whole bunch of nasties to get here, so...
Did they see you come here? Did they know where you're headed?
I do not believe
No.
so.
I think they just thought we might be meat.
Good. Get in, quickly.
Okay.
And you hear the cycling of the mag locks, and the door kind of cracks open with a little bit of a boom. And then as it slides open, it only goes open about 4 feet and stops, giving you guys enough room to squeeze in.
Yeah, all right.
Bit of a narrow squeeze.
Now,
Try not to
I'm not actually
flex.
that big.
I'm like, how wide are your shoulders? Holy cow.
He
So-
has 2 giant robotic arms hanging off of them.
He tucks them.
so you guys make your way in,
This
and
is my rifle. This is my other rifle. There are many like it.
so
Wait.
as you make your way in,
You have a pistol.
the area around you is dark, although you see some emergency lighting that seems to still have energy along the sides. And it leads you into an open area on the floor of this factory. Large, old, ancient machinery just filling this room from one side to the other. Although there seems to be a spot that has been repurposed over towards one wall. A little bit of a covered area, boxes and crates stacked up. Obviously a work area with plans and such strewn out across every flat surface. And standing there next to a data terminal, hand resting on top of what looks like an old kind of bolt pistol. And he sees you coming in, and the person you're looking at, older man, although it's a little difficult to tell with a lot of Inquisitors. What you know of Viclan Melbrandt is that he's at least 200 years old. Numerous juvenile treatments have kept him young, but he still seems to be like in his late 40s. Kind of a salt and pepper look to his goatee, short cropped hair, numerous scars on all of his exposed skin. Seems to be wearing kind of a loose fitting tunic, although you note that his right arm coming out of the sleeve is an extremely ornate, kind of gold and platinum chased augmetic of the highest quality. The moment you see it, you immediately recognize it as some of the work of artisans of the tech priests. So this is something that would be given only to those of extreme esteem and high rank. So he sees you coming in, and as he kind of gets the look of all of you, he nods like to himself, takes his hand off the bolt pistol, and gives a nod, says, "Welcome, acolytes. I am Inquisitor Viclan Melbrandt, Ordo Hereticus. Welcome to Hive Ordinance." And with that, dear Digidicers, is where we will be ending episode 2 of Accidental Crusade. You have made it to Hive Ordinance. The plans of your enemies are unfolding. Your story has just begun. And until next time, Dear Digidicers,
Game on, Internet!